Hi guys, welcome back to Details in Hindsight. I am your host, Maddy Brown, and today's episode is one that I've kind of been looking forward to for a while because it's been a minute since I built one of these. And I know a lot of new military spouses are going to be moving for the first time this year or will be moving in the near future. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Y'all are catching up with my everyday life. I've been kind of in the background doing all of this while I've been interviewing other people for my podcast, which has been awesome. To be able to do both has been incredible. But this series was to buy me time to move across the country. So if you are just watching this episode for the first time, I am moving from Georgia to the desert. We got a lot of places, we got a lot of things to do, to see on the way, but that means we got a lot to do to get to the west side. Today, we are going to be making what we like to call a PCS binder. When it comes to a PCS, there is a lot of things that happen between paperwork and vet, thingies that there's so many things that come with moving, as exhausting as it is, and places to keep receipts and it could get very chaotic very quickly. And this binder is a really great way to keep it all central and in one place. So that way, when it's time to turn in everything, you can just hand them the binder. TMO can probably work with you on that. TMO is the traveling moving office, I believe, where they typically, the soldier or the representative, the active duty member usually does that part. I have not done that. That is usually Austin. He goes in with the binder and typically I get a 5-star review on it. So here we go. Now this is my second binder. The first one Austin kind of made and then I kind of helped refine a little bit. And that one's actually not here. It's actually in Mississippi. So we're going to get straight into this one because I finally get to make one for the first time. So obviously I am going to show the binder. I got like a pack of 4. So whenever we move again, I got more in storage so I can just either use it for something else or start fresh. There's so many options here. I kind of a lazy organize. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're about to find out. So I'm actually gonna put a little of Austin and I in the front, so that way, keep us centered and focused. But yeah, you can always decorate it the way you want to decorate it. There is no personal preference on decoration, so just keep that in mind. You don't need to I wouldn't add too much stress about it because you're only gonna need it for like a month when you start moving, and then a month for like the after move and all that, and then you hold on to it forever. Okay, so the next piece that is super essential for a PCS binder is a pen pouch. This one I got on Amazon, and one of the main reasons why I got it is because it has a larger side one, and this is where you can keep all your receipts. This is what I plan on doing, and I'm gonna put all my receipts and everything in here. I will be putting like my passport and like identification that's not needed to be in my wallet in here. So that's easy to find, easy to grab, and we can just hand it over when needed. But you'll see in my next section where it gets a little more complicated, but that's okay. And then obviously up here, we're gonna put pens. So I'm gonna put that in here. So I usually put like a couple types of pens that I have lying around my house. I usually put like 3. 3 should be enough because there's always something you gotta sign and be like, I'm signing my life away, here you go. And then I was gonna put a Sharpie in here because for me, I'm always seeing last minute boxes that I could label real quick and I'll be like, and I can label it. No big deal, all is good. I just, you never know what you need it for, so that works. And then I got these little razor blades like 100 years ago, like 4 years ago off Amazon, but these things work great. And I'm gonna put 2 of these in here as well, mainly so that way, because they're small and like fit perfectly, mainly so that way when we do move and we get to the other side, I have easy access to a razor blade. And I will be buying a bigger one too, because there's so many boxes that you gotta undo, so that's gonna be super important as well. I don't know why I closed that up. So this is where it kind of gets a little tricky. I got these little dividers off Amazon as well, and this is where it's kind of personal and how you want it. There is no right or wrong way to do this, but what I like to do is just start with orders. I have a little label maker here, so bear with me as I do all this. We're doing it together. It's teamwork. And then the type of dividers I got have pockets, because sometimes you pack your 3-hole puncher on accident and you need to kind of slide something in there. So this could actually fit a normal 8x11 piece of paper and I can just pull it out, no big deal. When it comes to your orders, you are probably gonna want, I would say, 6 to 8 copies because the moving company might need it. Your management at your apartment or wherever you're living at the time, or your schools if you have kids. Like, there's a lot of different things that you'd be kind of surprised. But typically, anything that has a contract that you need to break, you're gonna need that order to break it. So, and a lot of them prefer the physical copy as well. So I always say the second you get the orders, print 8 to 10 copies. And also, it's just always good to have just in case, because you just never know who's like, we need to see your orders. A lot of people will need more copies if like you're flying overseas, or I know there's some people that do fly across the country when they move from east to west or vice versa. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're doing it. So I'm gonna put orders. All caps. How do I fix this? You can make these any way you want, but these are the main ones I think you should have. Order does not matter. It's your binder. Who cares? I like to kind of just keep it simple because emotionally, I'm already going through it. I don't need to add the stress of making it look perfect when the only person that's going to see this is me. So, and maybe Austin, a few other people, but in the internet, I guess. But that's okay. So yeah, it's gonna look like this. I don't know if you could see it. If you are on my Spotify, I put the label on the label section in these 3 dividers. So anywho, yeah, so we'll start with orders, and then the next one we're gonna do, I would say, okay, IDs is probably a big one, and we'll go into that in a second, but I'm gonna do a big I and a big D. So there is a section for like your marriage certificate and things like that. So I just call that the IDs because social security, birth certificate, you're going to really want that all in one spot because if, they need that at the doctor's office or whatnot, this is way easier to just have it in the binder and pull it out real quick and prove that you're married and that you're not a psychopath, and then this works out. So yeah, no, this is where I put all like my marriage certificates. A lot of the times they need copies of your marriage certificate. You can copy your marriage certificate, however, you need to make sure it is notarized. I was very lucky when Austin and I eloped. She gave us like 5 copies of our marriage license. I still have the physical one, but we have like other copies that we could give to people that are notarized. All I have to do is give them that sheet, but I got really lucky because she did like 5 in a row, so that's really, really helpful as well. So when I'm off camera, I will be putting like my IDs in here as well, like social security, things like that. So next section is probably going to be, I'm going to put dogs because all the vet vaccines per dog can get kind of crazy. So actually, I don't know how I want to do this. Do I want to do Nova and then Oakley? Why not? Okay, we're going to put Nova and just keep theirs separate because Nova has a lot of vet records, unfortunately. She almost died of liver failure like 2 years ago. So that was nice. Big vet bill. Anyways, yeah, so I'll have one for each dog. You don't have to do this. If you just want to put one in each, that is a-okay. There's no wrong way to do it. And then if there's anything I'm missing or that you feel like, you know what, Maddie missed this, and this actually could be more helpful, please feel free to comment down below. I know I'm not doing it the way everyone probably would do it or whatnot, or the order, but feel free to comment a section you would put in your binder as well. So I'm going to put Nova, that's next. She's the eldest, obviously. Eldest goes first. It's just ironic because aside from Oakley, everybody is the eldest. Austin's the oldest, I'm the oldest. It's kind of funny. All right, then we'll get Oakley. I don't know why this is so satisfying. If you're just listening, what you're hearing is label maker printing my labels. Yeah, so yeah, then we'll do this. He doesn't need much because he just needs his rabies and his vaccines and all that jazz. Again, these sections are not large. They are very small. They don't need to have these big papers in it. You just need, I like the sleeves too, because like if you run out of a 3-hole punch or like it just got packed, like you can just easily slide it in there and you don't have to worry about punching it. So we try to make it easy for future Maddie. Awesome. So we got let's see what we have so far. We have orders, we have ID, and then we have Nova, we have Oakley, and then let's see, what else would I do? Okay, so this is the section. If you had kids, I would say to put like your kids' school like records, like their transfer papers and everything like that. I don't have any kids, so I won't need that. But in the future, if you do have kids, I highly recommend making a section for just education and making sure that they have all the paperwork they need to transfer schools. That would be a huge part here. I do not have any kids, so I'm going to skip. Another section I do recommend, a lot of people don't have the crazy tumors like I got going on, but I do recommend having your latest medical record, like the most up-to-date medical records you have, just so that way you could just even give it to them if they need it. I don't see a need for that, but just in case something happens, you could just pull that out real quick. I have a separate binder because of my ear tumors, so I'm not going to make a section here for my health, but that would be the place I would put it as well. And then I would also go for kids if, like, let's say your kid has something chronic that you want to make sure there's like the perfect paperwork for that. That would be the spot for it. And then I'm just going to put other on here because there's always something that comes up. You never know what you're missing. And then, so my last section, I'm just going to put other. And if there's anything crazy that comes up that I'm like, oh, okay, I need this for this and that for that, I would just go ahead and fill that up with that. And this isn't going to be too crazy of an episode. It does not need to be that hard. It's not that long. Other. So I have that, and then I'm going to put 2 extras in here just in case, because obviously things come up. Wait. Okay, that's a good one, actually. Okay. So, like I said before, I put other, and then the next one I kind of want to put on here is car. Registration for my car. Because Austin's going to have to go change that. I'm kidding, because I'm going to have to change my license too. It's a team effort over here, guys. Alright, car. I'm just going to put car info. Just so that way I can transfer everything over really quickly. So once I like create this little template here, that's when I go in and fill everything out. So once this whole thing is like created, then it's just kind of the game of like finding all that paperwork and finding all the info. Typically, if you've moved before, it'll probably be in the last binder. If not, then, you know, I highly recommend doing it like 2-ish weeks like I am right now before your move, or if not sooner, or when you get the orders, whenever you feel comfortable, or when you have the sanity to do it. That's also a good one. So yeah, this is kind of that. Okay, I think that is everything super, super, super important that I have thought of. So that's where I'm gonna keep that. But I'm gonna put like put an extra like couple in here just so that way I have spaces to like fill. Obviously they won't have a label, but it's better than not having a spot to stick them in there real quick. So that way, you know, you can just organize and go. And then this thing came with like packs of stickers. I'm just gonna put that in the back just so that way if I do end up using some of the extra, I can label it real quick. So yeah, that is pretty much all she wrote. And then zip. And then one last thing I like to do is I get like I have these little note cards from Amazon as well. Everything that you've seen in this video will be in my Amazon storefront in my link in my bio. So feel free to shop along. It was like not that expensive. It's really not that bad. Or you go to Walmart. It's really easy. But this little thing that seems easy and simple helps a ton with stress later. So yeah, that's the other thing. I am going to make a note card here that is a please return to sender. Let's just say I lose it and somehow a good Samaritan found it. This would be ideal to have inside the binder. So I'm going to put my name in here and my phone number. Obviously, I don't have an address yet. So, and then I'm going to put my name in here and Austin's phone number as well. And then I also on the backside will put like contact information just in case I lose my phone. So I'll put like my dad's number, you know, Austin's family's numbers, just in case something happens and we need help. That's kind of going to be our go-to as well. Or like AAA's number, like all of that will be on here as well, just in case we lose a phone or something like that. But I will fill that out later because that's kind of boring to do that right here. But that's usually going to be in the front of this binder. Yeah, that's kind of all she wrote on the binder. It's pretty much the prep. Here she is in her full glory. I like when I can see it. That sounds terrible, but like I like when I can see the labels. I know some people hate it because you can't see or like they like to hide it in the binder, but I don't know. I feel like it's easier to like just flip to real quick, if that makes sense. So maybe that's just me. This was a 1.5 binder, so yeah, I don't know. It's not the end of the world. Clearly I'm not too picky, but I know people have their preferences. So yeah, easy peasy. Squeezy, does not need to be super complicated. Yeah, and then I go and I fill that all out with all my personal info that I don't want on the internet. Yes, so kind of to update you guys on where we're at. Emotionally, I'm exhausted, but that's how this goes. This is not new for me, and this is not a new rodeo for me either. I would say I think I'm just a little stressed because of how this move is going to be going down, but Austin's been very supportive and has been a pro at this already. I'm kind of shocked of how good he is at this, honestly, but because of like the separation, because they had to move him away from Georgia and I stayed behind to keep my job, they are treating it like 2 separate moves. So my move is going to be a straight shot from me to the desert, and then they're treating Austin's move as a from Austin to the desert. So it's nice because they're gonna send movers to me, and then we're gonna do a Diddy move with Austin. So he actually was here last weekend for his last long weekend in tech school, and we had a really great time. We went to the Masters and had so much fun. It was really good to have him home for 2 seconds, but we, while he was here, we packed up a lot of the heavy stuff so he could take it with him to his apartment, and hopefully that could help us out later. So yeah, I'm missing a plant. It's actually in Mississippi now. A lot of the heavy stuff, like my books, are gone. It kind of feels empty in here. I've been keeping boxes for him, so when he comes to visit, I just hand him all my empty boxes. They're packing my stuff up here, so I don't need to pack anything crazy. I will be packing up my closet, so I did order another suitcase. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be living out of a suitcase, but I know I need to pack it right, and I need to pack all of them. So yeah, that is something I'm trying to figure out on a packing scale, so hopefully it works out. I am trying to vlog as I go, so there will hopefully be some moving vlogs. If you don't want to miss it, they're gonna be on my TikTok. I'll let future Maddy do the plug because she's always up to something. But yeah, so that's kind of the update on the move itself. I am now just in prep mode. I think the things like it's just getting ready. Bought these boxes to hold like our plates and our silverware because I'll be packing some of that and bringing it with me to Mississippi when I meet up with Austin there. And then I also grabbed some of these Amazon. They are label makers, and it sounds stupid, but it helps a ton when packing. So that way, when you get to the other side, you could just take that box and bring it straight to where it's supposed to go later, and then you can unpack it later, but at least the box is already in the room it's supposed to be in, and you can kind of navigate from there. So the labels are going to start here, and then I'm going to take these with me to Mississippi and help Austin pack back in Mississippi. Yeah, it sounds simple, but it helps so much. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with these little dudes. And then, yeah, now I gotta get the dogs ready. I'm gonna get them groomed and ready to go. And then I gotta get this apartment cleaned and ready to say au revoir. I don't know what's after that. I really don't. I don't even have an address yet. We will probably be living in temporary housing because of how limited the space is. I still have not fully digested where we're going. There are times where I'm like, okay, you know what, fresh start, this is gonna be great. And that's typically the mode. But there are times like today where I get a little sad because I had to quit my job, and I love my job, and they've been phenomenal, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I was given, and I really tried to make the most of it, and I hope that I left a good impression on the other side, and I hope one day, like, in return, like, my career will grow. But for now, obviously, I'm married, I made a commitment, and I don't take that lightly, so we're going. Just know, like, if you're a military spouse and you just got the news that you have to move and you have to quit your job, just know you're not alone. That this, like, haunting feeling of not understanding why you both can't achieve something at the same time sucks. But just know, like, the farther he gets along in his career, the more it'll pay off on the other side. And I really, commend you for doing this, because it doesn't get easier on that level. It doesn't get easier having to burn your life down to the ground again and again and again, whether it's, I mean, again, I do it in a heartbeat, and I did, but it still doesn't make it hurt less, and it doesn't mean what you did wasn't valuable. So don't be hard on yourself. I've had a hard time because of where I'm at in my career. I feel like I'm failing everybody around me, like, all the time. And I can't, and this is why I'm back in therapy, which is great, but I can't get out of my head sometimes about I can't have a career and I can't this and I can't that. And it's really hard to put into words sometimes the emotional sacrifice that comes with all of this. I just want other military spouses to know, if you're in this spot, you are not alone and your sacrifice is not in vain. And I do believe that when you sacrifice something this big, there is something so much greater on the other side, and it may not be at the next station. It may be 3 stations from now. But I really want to encourage other spouses to continue to remind themselves, like, your value is not in the job. And I have to tell myself every day that, like, my value is in my faith personally, and my value is, like, I'm a child of God, and God raised me to, be humble and follow. If God's calling, I'm going. And, Austin is in the military, and we've been called to the desert. Okay, I guess we're going to the desert together. But that doesn't make it less hard, and it doesn't make it less terrifying, and it doesn't make it less emotionally taxing. But just know I'm right there with you, and especially if you're moving to a base that that's the best way I can describe where I'm going. And it's not like your dream base, and you don't know anybody, and it's scary, and it's all these things. That's where I'm at. That's where I've been for the last month, honestly. And it's been so hard, like, doing all this stuff and trying to stay positive, like, when deep down inside, like, I'm just terrified. I'm terrified and I'm scared, and that's typically, though, the sign for me that there's something crazy coming, and I just don't know what, and I just have to be okay with it and move forward. And I believe, like, God made promises for me that I have not yet seen, but I know are coming. So I do believe that all these sacrifices that I've made are not in vain, and I'm really excited to be back with Austin and getting over long distance. It sucks. I'm trying not to think too far ahead. I only want to think through probably August, because then if I keep thinking about all the other places I gotta be and gotta do and all that, I'm gonna be miserable. So hopefully there's a beautiful job waiting for me there. Hopefully I can continue to help support our family, and hopefully, if not, I have faith that the Lord will provide and it'll be okay, because I just don't believe God's calling us to this spot and we don't come out the other end. Like, we're gonna be okay. And if you're also in that spot, I promise you're gonna be okay. And if you're not okay, it's not the end. A lot of character development right now. Yeah, I don't know if any of that made sense, but I feel like a lot of spouses are in this boat. I've seen it all over the pages, but just know, not alone. You're gonna be okay. And we're in this together. This isn't just a me thing. I know there's plenty of other spouses that are going through this. I think the other hard part about it is the fact that it's not like a dream base. It's not like, oh, I had to quit my job to move to Germany. Sorry, bye. Or like Hawaii, deuces. Like, I am moving to the middle of nowhere. I'm so excited. Can you tell? No, I didn't even know this town existed, okay, until the beginning of this year. I thought it was a joke. I'm not gonna lie. When Austin told me, I thought he was kidding. Yeah, there's a lot of just taking it in and just realizing that, yes, this is what I signed up for, but it's an adventure. Everything happens for a reason, and it's gonna be good. These are the lies I tell myself. I had to. They're not lies, Maddie. They're not lies. You just gotta keep moving forward, and one day at a time, obviously. Yeah, could use your prayers for this move. This is not easy on anybody, especially my husband. So prayers for Austin, and prayers that we make it safe and that we can make the most out of this base. I want to end on a positive note and just say, I am looking forward to starting fresh. I think starting fresh is really fun. Being able to start all over in another house sounds so much fun. I don't know why, but I just love unpacking. That's like something that soothes my soul, and I love doing it. I hate packing, but I love unpacking, and it's great because I get to like start over, get creative, and start like a whole new chapter. I have no idea where I'm going to be living, but I do know that it'll be hopefully by the end of this year. So thank you guys for watching this episode. Next week, we will be talking about rating this base, rating where I'm at currently. I will leave future Maddy to disclose that, but I'm really excited to kind of do like a little rate my base episode and just talk about what I loved about this place, what I really didn't like about this place. And so if you're ever moving to where I'm going or am, feel free to use that as a template. But I'm going to pray us out and I will see you guys next week, okay? All right. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. Man, these emotions when it comes to moving is no joke. Lord, I'm just asking that you keep me and anybody else going through a PCS to the middle of nowhere with just calm, cool, collective thoughts. Lord, you have placed us to these spots for a reason. Lord, I just ask that as these smaller bases are getting new additions, that they welcome them with open arms and can find community relatively quickly. Lord, I'm just asking that in the desert, in the isolation, in the storm, Lord, I just ask that you continue to reveal who you are to us and guide us one step at a time. It gets crazy, it gets chaotic, Lord. I just ask that you continue to keep us focused and center on you and how you're going to lead us through this and how, we're going to make an impact wherever we're going, because we're going to do good and we're strong, very, very, very strong spouses. And this is not for the weak. Thank you for all the opportunities that we've had thus far and all the opportunities that are coming. Lord, I know that this is not ideal. Not ideal for me, not ideal for Austin, not ideal for the whole situation where we're going. I'm hopeful that it is for a reason, and I'm excited to see what's next. So, in your name, amen. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not yet already, hit that follow, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.